Oh, I was just going to say to our X listeners who are listening to us on X this week, thanks for staying tuned for the extended version of the Unconnoisseur. You get the after show chit chat that we talk about and tell all the things that we missed. I don't think we missed anything. Well, yeah, we didn't talk about Rasan too much.
Rashawn. He heard it in a dream. Called himself Rashawn. Rashawn Roland Kirk. I think that was a great episode. I think the fun part is the direction that it ended up taking. I was thinking about all the lists that I have of all of the other music I listened to from him. You didn't even need to touch on it.
Right.
And the third stream was almost, I think, his last album after the first stroke. So it was the second stroke that took his life. And it's going to, I don't have it right here. Shoot.
You going to talk about the stroke?
I was going to talk about the album itself that was recorded after the first stroke. And it's the I didn't even talk about
after his first stroke, he was partially paralyzed on one side of his body. So for him to be able to
Boogie Woogie String Along, it was with an orchestra. Boogie Woogie String Along was after his first stroke, and that recording was phenomenal. He's carrying his saxophones, wearing the art cover. He's got his top hat on, he's got his trench coat, and he's carrying his saxophone. But the feet are going one direction, and his body's walking another. So I know you've seen that cover.
Hang on, which one? Yeah, let me bring
String Along. What an album!
Boogie Woogie String Along. Yeah.
Speaking of cover, I didn't listen to any of them. Yep. That's cool. That's very cool.
The feet are going this way. His body's going that way.
Yeah. I didn't listen to any of the music on a particular album, but he's standing in the middle of the street. That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got it up on screen.
Oh, perfect.
He's standing in the middle of a downtown street. Looks like it could be Chicago, could be New York City, could be Indy. I don't know, but he's in a tuxedo, a top hat, and it's kind of later at night with the rain kind of stuff on the roadway, and standing on a manhole cover. And it is just fantastic. The picture is just so cool, so very cool.
Which
one of the other things?
Yeah, I just looked at that one.
Did you?
Yeah, I'd seen that earlier, and I thought we need to put that up on screen. So I'll put it up on screen in a moment.
Yeah.
Well, I like the album cover from Bright Moments too. I mean, that's just cool looking art. Yep. You can't really see it on screen too well.
I'll have it up on the screen.
Yeah,
for those if I do anything post production on this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So what about the album cover on Domino?
Yep.
You guys are
Domino and Three-Sided Dream. The one for the Three-Sided, is it Three-Sided Dream? Yeah, those are some really cool.
Yeah, the case of the Three-Sided Dream.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, yes, okay. It's got his brain twisted with saxophones coming out of it. Yes. That's really cool artwork.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see the album cover for. Oh no, I did. Now, Please Don't Cry, Edith something. And in that album, I listened to the one song Alfie.
Yes,
that was a good rendition. And then another album, his album called Blackness, and the song was "Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone."
I missed that one.
Oh man.
All right, I'm adding that one right now. I saw Blackness on here, and wow,
you'll love it.
I'm not surprised that I am. I'm surprised that you went there, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you did. And that's what I love about this journey, is because I'll find things that I really, really like, and then Drew will find something completely else by the artist or a song or something that just blows him away. Yeah. I love that. By the way, Kirk's work from 2007 RVG remastered. So I'm adding that one to the list and listening to that one even probably tomorrow.
Something else I saw was that Ed Sullivan, he was on the Ed Sullivan Show in 71.
Holy cow.
And I didn't realize Ed Sullivan was still on TV that long, but
yeah,
there were 10 artists with him as they played. It was fantastic just to
on
watch
the Ed Sullivan Show.
On the Ed Sullivan Show, 10 different artists, and he's out there, and he started with that. Well, something like the clip you started the episode with the little chime thing, the bell or whatever, and then he's blowing into something, and and then he gets himself all set up, and he plays some stuff, and then boom, they take off.
Yes,
I even go ahead. Go.
Nope, go.
I was going to say, I even highlighted that sentence in the magazine. Yet the use of the breath and slurred annotations were paramount to Kirk's playing, and that certainly came into its own in his raucous playing that once again raised the temperature. So it talks about it in the magazine, even the use of the breath and the intonation, the slurred intonation of his voice to create.
It's funny how you and I always come back to the magazine and go, "Oh, it was there."
Yeah.
The facts were already there, and we read through it, we looked at it, and then a year later you go, oh, yeah, it says it right here.
Right there.
Why was Jan Johansson such a big deal? Oh, ECM, Manfred Eicher. Duh.
Yeah.
It says it in the magazine.
Okay, but then there's artists, Oliver Nelson, who I could have not cared less, because I do find the information helpful, but man, that it just hit me on a different level. The music, it just hit me on a different. I could care less what the actual paragraph says, because the music hit me that hard. But then when you 8.5 is good for Roland Kirk. That's about as far high as I could go. But then sometimes you search for what did I miss in that paragraph? What did I miss about Roland Kirk that even put him on the list? I mean, there's probably 10 other saxophones that could have been in the 64 spot, in my opinion.
There could have been.
Yeah. But there's not. And again, it's not our list, and we're not.
And that's been the fun part about this journey, is the randomness that you come into. I was looking at loose tubes, right? Well, Django Bates, right? I almost said that when you were talking about it. Why do we know that name? Loose Tubes Collective. Yeah, we've touched on that so many years ago, so many episodes ago. Ron Carter. Like years. It does. You got Ron Carter, which was actually Meeting of the Times, which was when he played with Roland. And I'm thinking about Ron Carter as I'm looking at the Google screen. Dad's sitting in there upper right.
Yeah, Django Bates played in Loose Tubes.
Yes. Yeah. He was on another album, because I think it was Westbrook. That clan of UK from that time period ran together. And so when you said Django Bates, I was like, yeah, boy, we know him.
I didn't make a big deal of it, because you're the one that remembered. See, Dad, that's why I like being on the journey with him, because he remembers that stuff. I'd have just been like, oh, yeah, it's Django Bates, blah, 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 and talked about it. But he remembers. He remembers.
Yeah.
Blows me away.
He really rocks.
He is. He knows his stuff. That's why I'm going to sit back next week and just let him talk.
I'm going to end up talking more about data lords.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And here's what I'm gonna do, Dad. So Matt, how does that make you feel?
I love it so much.
I think what you better do is have a timer for each of you to have 3 minutes, like they do in playing chess. You hit a timer, you only get this long, and then it's your turn. When you're done, you hit it. You got to have some kind of a timer.
That's a good idea.
I've been thinking so much about how do I do the album justice? How do we talk about it in such a manner that it reaches the depths And so, yeah, I'm thinking I'm already processing what I really want to talk about. What are the most important things? So I'm going to set like a 30-minute timer for me.
For you. And I get a 10-minute timer.
Matt, you have 1 minute left. What would you like to say?
I love it so much.
I can't say it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's
One
funny.
last thing about my conversation at my high school reunion on Saturday night. So I'm talking to my friend Jim, and I said, we've listened to a variety of music, and I said, and there's an artist. I couldn't remember Art Tatum's name. I said, there's an artist from Toledo. Oh yeah, Art Tatum. Yeah, he was very much aware of Art Tatum, and I said, there's some stuff that I can't listen to, and I mentioned for me the art ensemble from Chicago. He said, no, we don't go there. So he was aware of it.
But you did listen to it because you were on that episode. But you just wouldn't go back to it.
No.
You're glad you experienced it one time and that was enough.
I am. Yeah, really. And I think Phil brought out some really good points about their style, their artwork, the facial artwork, and their costumes and stuff, and the fact that they played 500 different instruments all at one time.
Stage, right?
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I think we did Roland justice in the episode. We didn't get too gushy, but again, fair scores for sure. I have gone back and listened to some Roland. He's not one of my first choices to go back to. I didn't want to compare him during the episode. I didn't want to say, well, he's no Courtney Pine, but I have gone back to him because that's not fair. But yeah, I've gone back and listened to his music in the last year. Roland.
There are some who just have their own. They have their own sound. They have their own style. They have their own stick. And playing the Manzello and the Stitch, automatically something's creative going on. Miles in the Harmon, Clark Terry in the flugelhorn, Chet Baker in the pantyhose and the trumpet. I mean, you go on and on. Everybody has their sound, but it's what they've come up with. Yeah. And Roland has it.
Yeah. So have you found an actual picture of a Manzello? Because I'm not sure I found a picture of it, but one of the things I saw in one of the albums or something, it's a long, like almost 4.5, 5 foot long trumpet with the bell turned up. Is that a Manzello?
No, that's a jazzophone.
That's from Ila. What's his last name? Jazzophone.
Ilya. Yeah. Ilya.
The Manzello and the Stritch are two different things. The Manzello was actually, if you click on it at Wikipedia, it just takes you to a saxophone. They were modified, and the Manzello would have been a short-belled, essentially tenor sax is what I believe it was. So it had a smaller horn, and instead of like the tenor sax horn's 8 inches deep, it's really, really, really short. But it still comes down and angles up, but it's just a long instrument like a tenor saxophone.
Yeah. So instead of, like Drew said, instead of coming up pretty far and then the bell going out, the bend of the sax comes down and then just almost right out. So it does have it's still a saxophone looking instrument, but it's a much shorter version.
Okay. Yeah.
And the crazier part is everything's custom made. A custom-made alto inspired by Roland Kirk. These are antique, hard-to-find pieces now because they were old. Mm-hmm. Did I just break out with that off? Head off sax.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I went there. And then
all right, gentlemen. It's time for this old man to.
I'll find some pictures for the episode so you can see what they look like, and I'll text them to you when I got them.
Perfect.
Okay.
And we'll text you the QR code, the new QR code too.
Good. Thanks.
Check
All
your
right.
phone, it's already there.
Oh,
Okay.
Dad's is.
Will do.
peace out. Thanks for joining us. See you in
Thank you,
2
guys.
weeks.
Yeah, right. Maybe. If I choose to come back.
Okay. You may enjoy Lenny Tristano.
I'm
The
sure.
hook brings you back. You'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be back.